So you're interested in possibly becoming a business analyst, and you're interested in possibly making this your future career. Well, you've come to the right spot. What is going on, guys? I am the BA Tutor, here to bring you guys my Business Analyst Beginner Training in 2020. This is a spot for you guys to be tuned in and locked into, because I'm going to bring you guys a ton of business analyst content. And let me just start by saying this, okay? You see right now with how the world is dealing with all of the job loss and everything, there's only few industries that are as recession proof as the IT industry, which is where business analysts reside in. And so this is a great time to get into this industry, because not only is it recession proof, you're always going to be needed, and it's a job which, again, good job security. You're going to have the opportunity to move up and get paid well. So everything checks off here. If you weren't interested in before, you certainly should be now. And that's why I'm here to help you guys out with that. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys my high-level training for business analysts if you're interested in it. So talking about basically what a BA is, the role of a business analyst, the tools, techniques, methodologies that BAs use right now in 2020. So let's get started. One more thing, guys, before I do get started, make sure you stick around till the end of the video, because I do have something special in store for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. With that being said, let's get started. So again, this is for beginners. If you have no idea what a business analyst is, you heard about it, somebody mentioned it to you, maybe you know somebody who's a business analyst, but you really don't know what the heck they really do. Well, I'm here to make sure you guys know that, okay? So the first question you have to ask is, what is a BA and what is the role of a BA, really, okay? And so how I always explain this is I use the example of basically a company that needs help to do something, okay? And what a business analyst is, so answering the first question, is all they are doing is solving a problem. At the end of the day, they're solving a problem, because how are you valuable? You solve a problem. And that is what makes business analysts so valuable. So how do you solve a problem? And so what it is you've got a company, okay? So let's say you've got a company and they have a product, okay? Let's say it is a software product, okay? They have a software product. Okay, let's say it's some sort of a software that they utilize, and this is used, by insurance companies, okay? Or it could be any industry, really, but we're just going to say insurance. It could be banking, finance. Okay, they've got this software, and what they want to do is they want to make this software better, okay? They want to make the software better because the company that they use, that uses it, that the banks, the insurance company, let's just say the insurance company that uses it, they feel like it's not an easy software to use. So the problem is they want to fix that. That is, they want to make the software easier to use. So this is where a business analyst comes in and they help solve that problem. Now, again, I'm using software as an example. It doesn't have to be. It could be any product. It could be a service, whatever the case be. You can be a BA in the finance industry, in the banking industry, in the insurance industry, in the healthcare industry, in the IT industry. That's the great thing about it. So it can be through a variety of industries, but basically you've got the problem and there is the business analyst coming in here to help solve it. So they optimize it. They solve that problem. How do they solve this problem? Well, let's do this. Every company is going to have a business stakeholder department, okay? I'm just going to say stakeholder. What are business stakeholders? Well, they're basically the folks in the company that help run the company, right? They understand the processes. Okay, this company, they build software, so they know all about what this software is, but they know it from a business perspective. They don't know the technical side of it. They don't know the coding and everything. You know who knows that? That is the IT developers. These are the coders, okay? They know all about the actual back end of the software. The front end, stakeholders, okay? That's what they know. And so the company is going to have these stakeholders, and they're going to have developers and coders. Okay? For a business analyst, they fit right here, right in the middle between the stakeholder and developer. Now, how do they play a part here? Well, basically, what they are doing is they are going ahead and being the middleman, the liaison, if you will, between the stakeholder and the developer, okay? Because what's going to happen now is, okay, our problem is we want to make this software easier to use. Well, you tell us, stakeholders, how do we want to make it easier to use? Well, these are the ways that we want to make it easier to use. We want to, reduce the amount of buttons. We want to reduce, the pages. We want to do, a bunch of different things. Well, the BA is going to go ahead and talk to them and capture all of those things that they want to change. Okay? That's what the BA is going to go do. And then the BA is going to go ahead and take that and go and tell the developers, okay, this is what they want coded that way. Why do you need the BA here? Okay, because you might be thinking, why doesn't the business stakeholder just tell the developer? They can't. They don't talk the same language. They don't understand the language here, the business language and the IT language. The way the developers need the requirements being given to them is not going to be understood by the business stakeholder. And so that is where the business analyst comes in, because they are the middleman that is going to be able to translate it. So think of them as translators pretty much, okay? Somebody speaking English and I understand English and I have to translate it to Spanish to somebody else. And that is essentially what a business analyst does, okay? And that is the role of a business analyst. Now, within this company, I've only mentioned these two entities, but we all know companies have a bunch of different roles. They've got QAs, quality analysts, they've got architects, they've got project sponsors, they've got a bunch of things. And so these are just a few of the departments. And so when this process is turned into a project, like let's say the company says, okay, we want to turn this into a project. Well, that is where all of those different parties come into play. And this is just one phase of it. But for the most part, this is what a BA is. And this is what a BA does. So now you might be wondering, okay, I understand what a BA is and I understand what their role is. But now I want to know, how do BAs do their job? Like, how do they actually do this job? Well, it's complicated and simple. But I'm going to give you the simple version of it because you can get into a lot of detail around it, okay? How do they do their job? Well, essentially, at the end of the day, if you want to become a business analyst and you want to be trained to one, you need to know how to write requirements. This is the job, okay, of a business analyst. Okay, right here. You need to be able to write requirements. What are requirements? Requirements are going to be essentially that language translation I mentioned to you between the business stakeholders and the IT team, okay? You are going to be able to, in a format, write down all of the requirements that have been told to you by the developers, and it's understandable by the IT department, okay? Or the coders, I should say. So how do BAs do their job? Well, they need to know how to write requirements, and writing requirements means you have to understand the methodologies, you have to understand the techniques, and there's different ways to write requirements. You can, the methodologies you can use can be agile, you can do waterfall, or you can have a hybrid, a mix of both. What are these things? I can go into more detail as well, but you can write different ways to write requirements. You can do user stories, you can do use case. Like, there are a ton of different ways for BAs to do their job, which is why I told you it's simple because you write requirements, but it's complicated because of how you write the requirements. And so you can get into a lot of different ways to do it, but essentially that is how BAs do their job. So you want to learn how to be a BA, you have to learn how to write to requirements, okay? And that is the crucial aspect here, but it doesn't end there. And that is something people misunderstand a lot. They think it is just writing requirements. No. this is the main part of it for sure. Bread and butter, I get it. But as a business analyst, you need to be able to do a lot more than just write requirements. You need to be able to communicate well with different teams. You are that middleman, the liaison. So you need to be able to speak different languages. You need to be able to gather the requirements from the stakeholders, ask the right questions. You need to be able to know exactly how to extract them. And then you need to be able to know what methodology fits, into this project, which is better to use. And you need to understand, again, in 2020, where is the industry heading? What is the right way to go about it? And so there is a lot more that goes into being a business analyst than just writing requirements. I mean, that's just the basic part of it. But to become a business analyst, you need to be able to understand this and a lot more. So that is essentially, the beginning steps you need to take. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Again, I told you guys I have something for you guys at the end. Basically, I've put together a high-level beginner comprehensive guide for business analysts in 2020. So you guys can check it out. It's in the link in the description. It gives you a very high-level overview and walks you through pretty much everything. It's kind of a step-by-step, if you will. And by the end of the video, you will be able to, tell everything from, all the tools and techniques that BAs use, all of the methodologies, being able to know, exactly the full roles and how to put it all together. Okay, now that you have everything, how do I even put it all together? I explain it all in that guide. So make sure you go check that out in the description if you're interested. Hopefully this video helped. I will be putting out a lot more videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching.